I got into the game Gaslands a while ago. Well, actually Gaslands Refuelled, which is a revised and expanded edition of the game. It is a tabletop skirmish wargame of apocalyptic vehicular combat inspired by the Mad Max movies. One of the coolest things about this game is that it uses 1/64th scale vehicles for the miniatures, the same scale as most Hot Wheels and Matchbox die-cast cars. The apocalyptic setting is a breeding ground for modified vehicles that range from ramshackle DIY armored cars to eccentric gas-guzzling war machines. You can play the game perfectly fine with brand new or old die-cast cars, but I believe kit bashing and repainting these little toy cars is a side of the game that really shines. I'm in the process of crafting some vehicles for Gaslands and thought it would be nice to show off some of the cars I've already modified. In this video, I will share the first 3 cars I crafted to ride across the wastes of Gaslands. First up is a car that I call Rust Devil. This was originally a Racing Champions brand race car. I chose this generic vehicle because I was not sure how well the superglue and paint would adhere to the model. I had 0 attachment to the car, so if it did not work or came out ugly, it would be a learning experience, not a loss. I superglued pieces of cereal box paperboard and corrugated paper to the exterior to serve as makeshift armor plating. I cut out a V-shaped piece of this corrugated paper and bent it to craft the plow on the front of the car. The spikes on the hood are just pieces of toothpicks. I also superglued some fiberglass mesh over the side windows to imitate pieces of chain link fencing. I painted the car red, the armor pieces silver, and went over the whole car with some stippling of brown and orange here and there to create rusty patches. These were very simple modifications, but they did their job. This car looks ready for the apocalypse. Gameplay-wise, I would play this as a car with an armor upgrade and a front-mounted ram. This model started as a Hot Wheels 32 Ford, a car with a shape that feels just right for the apocalyptic theme. I went a little lighter on the added bits of this model. I gave each side a small piece of corrugated paper and added a tank to the back of the car. The tank was made out of rolled pieces of paperboard with 2 circular pieces attached to the ends to seal it up. The rack holding it in place is just more paperboard and 2 pieces of toothpick. I bought this model pre-owned with a few stickers attached. This absolutely needed to be repainted because the stickers took the paint right off the car when I removed them. I repainted the model with roughly the same color scheme as it originally had, with the exception of some stippling to represent rust and exposed metal. I was pleased with the results. The orange of the rust contrasts the black chassis. I especially like the orange splotches on the top of the car. I intend to play this as a buggy with a liquid-based dropped weapon such as an oil slick or glue dropper. In Gaslands, buggies are weaker than cars but have better handling and higher max speeds. This vehicle will hopefully rush ahead and spill a nasty hazard in front of its rivals. I am not entirely certain what I want to call this car. I could give it a generic name of oil runner, like the vehicle's job is to quickly transport fuel between settlements. I might call it drummer on account of the oil drum feature on the back of the car. Like the first car, this next model started out as a generic stock race car. The underside says Pit Row. I superglued some of the fiberglass mesh to the front and rear windshields. This stuff is a quick and easy way to give a model some apocalyptic DIY flavor. The gun on the hood is a spare assault rifle from a Wargames Atlantic miniature kit. It was a pretty lazy addition. Again, I was not sure how well these would stick. The assault rifle actually did break off and was reattached on its side for more contact, as you can see in the vehicle's current state. The launcher tubes on the roof of the car are made out of half of a glow stick connector piece that I had the foresight to keep. I wanted to try a more interesting paint job on this car. I painted it blue and then decided to paint some bright white lines. I should have gone for more subtle rust effects. It looks more like mud and dirt has been streaked across the car in random spots. Besides the rust effects, I thought the paint job looked cool until I finished. Now I think this paint job is just funny. Overall, this car is painted like an athletic shoe. I remember shopping for shoes and noting that every other athletic shoe was covered in white stripes and white trim. I have the perfect name for this car. I call it Noike. It is a British pronunciation of the brand Nike, but I emphasize the I sound with an Australian accent as a nod to the Mad Max movies taking place in Australia. I plan to play Noike as a car with a front-mounted machine gun and a rocket launcher or mortar. Those are the first 3 die-cast cars I modified for the game Gaslands. It was pretty fun adding these extra bits to the cars and repainting them to look old and weathered. If I had to rank these vehicles, I would put the Ford 32 conversion first because of the vehicle's shape and the paint job. I think the rust on the roof came out great. I would place the Rust Devil in second because it has some good generic apocalyptic features, but the paint job is just okay. The Noike car is last because it looks like a shoe. Don't get me wrong, I will still play this in Gaslands. When it fires a rocket at the car head and then proceeds to crash into the wreckage and explodes, I will not cry, I will laugh. I'm making a video where I show the entire process of crafting and painting some more vehicles for this game. The cars are coming along great. They are not done yet, but I am excited to show them off. Keep a lookout for that sometime in the next couple of weeks. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like. If you did not, then tell me why. If you want to see more content, then rev up your engine and press that subscribe button. It is time for me to get back to the workshop. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep making and keep playing. Have a good one.